Alright, welcome again to a Greenfield Games Warhammer 40K 6th edition battle report. We're doing non-escalation game today. We're doing 2,000 point armies with allies. It's going to be Space Wolves and Tau versus Grey Knights and Imperial Guard. I'm Bob. I'm going to be playing against Dan. The game type, we're doing the Scouring with 5 objectives of random point value with hammer and anvil table sides. Our objectives are here: 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that's the overall table setup. Doing a city-ish thing. I think we're going to try the roads as actual roads. Here's my army, 2,000 points total. Doing a librarian with thunder hammer. It's going to have divination and telekinesis powers. A Vindicare assassin. 5 Termies with a side cannon, 2 halberds, in a Land Raider, a big 10-man squad of Grey Knights with halberds and 2 side cannons, in a Rhino, probably combat squad those, another 5-man Grey Knight squad, incinerator hammer, in a Razorback with heavy bolter, Psy Rifle style dreadnought, and then the allies are going to be a Primaris Psyker, Penal Legionnaires, and a squad of Lehman Russ battle cannons and las cannons and stubbers. Dan has a whole bunch of stuff here.
We've got for the Tau, the 2 hammerheads, team of 3 crisis suits. That's going to have the commander joined to them. They all have plasma rifle missile pod. 2 squads of fire warriors with their respective team leader with marker light. And for the Space Wolves, we have Wolfguard with Terminator armor and a drop pod with some assorted stuff. Bjorn the Fell-Handed, the HQ choice, and 2 Grey Hunter packs with 2 melt guns each and rhinos. And their sergeants have power axes.
Alright, let's roll off to see who's going to go first, and then we'll be back.
And actually, yeah. I had to re-roll it because I had Bjorn with me.
Alright, so you're going to go first, or you choose?
I choose.
And we'll be back with deployment. Okay, here's the overall look after deployment.
It's 2 very small mini
Tau and Space Wolves. That is their warlord there. What's that guy's name?
Bjorn the Fell-Handed.
Okay. Hammerhead's way in the back. Fire Warriors on that objective. Fire Warriors on that objective. Space Wolves in the Rhinos ready to spring forward. And the Crisis Suits ready to jump around and wreak havoc. Over here we've got, it's going to be night fighting turn 1. So I kind of got everything all forward. See if I can put some hits on him in the night. Tanks are sort of forward. Librarian has Misfortune and Telekine Dome for powers. Got the Psy Rifle Dread there. 5 Grey Knights in a Razorback. Land Raider has the Terminators. The Penal Legionnaires and the Primaris Psyker are back there. That Psyker has Crush as his power. And the Rhino over there with 5 more Grey Knights. And the Vindicare infiltrated about 2 inches forward and found a nice little spot in the rocks there. And is this the time where I might steal the initiative? Mm-hmm. Alright, let's see if I can... Oh no! So a stolen initiative, and we'll be back. Alright, here is the result of Grey Knight Imperial Guard turn 1. Not a lot here. Librarian and Grey Knights held the objective. The Dreddy moved forward a little bit and shot at the... Oh, you gotta tell me his name again. Bjorn. Ineffective. Razorback pulled forward and the Grey Knights popped out. And pretty much everybody, the Razorback, a couple of the Grey Knights, the squad of tanks, the Land Raider, all pumped fire into the Crisis Suit HQ, killing the drones. One of the blast templates drifted onto the Rhino and immobilized that. One quick machine spirit shot of the las cannon. Was there any effect on him? He's unaffected by any shots, but was fired at a few times. There was a side cannon shot out of the top of the Rhino into that Rhino, and then there was also the Vindicator Assassin did his turbo shot into the front of the Rhino and exploded it. A couple of the Space Wolves, 2 Space Wolves got killed inside, and that is all for Imperial Guard Grey Knight turn 1. Give you a look at the board from far away, and we'll be back with Tau Space Wolf turn 1. Alright, this was Tau Space Wolf turn 1. What happened?
The Grey Hunter packs and the Tau Warrior shot over at the Vindicator Assassin, put a wound on him. The Plasma Cannon and the Commander dropped 2 Grey Knights over there. And the Terminators with their Assault Cannon blew up the Ingress.
Alright, we'll be back with turn 2. Alright, this was Grey Knight Guard turn 2. As would be expected, pretty much everybody turned around to deal with the Terminators in my backyard. They were given a malediction by the Librarian, which helped a lot. They had to re-roll all failed saves.
All successful.
Re-roll all successful saves. They fired into the Terminators. Psi Rifle Dread fired into it. Incinerator laid down a template, and the other Grey Knights fired. The Razorback fired. No, this one didn't. Even these guys, the Psyker tried to crush a Terminator but failed to hit him, and even some Penal Legionnaires pumped fire into the Terminators and killed one, resulting in finally taking out all of the Terminators. The Land Raider moved forward and fired at the Hammerhead. It made its Jinx save. The Lehman Russ, the Psi Cannon inside the Rhino, the Vindicator Assassin, and I believe that's it. They fired into this squad of Space Wolves and killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And give you a backup look at the battlefield at the end of Guard Grey Knight turn 2. We'll be back with Tau turn 2. Okay, this is going to be the end of Tau Space Wolf turn 2.
Yes, and the only thing I actually managed to do was take down the Vindicator Assassin over there, and a lot of other stuff just failed to do.
Vindicator was wiped out, and this guy tried to assault. It was just an inch short. And here's the table. Alright, this was Grey Knight Guard turn 3. Pretty ineffective. Dumped some fire into the drop pod. Took off a hull point. Trying to take out that bolter. The Psyker perils and lost the wound. Ineffective shooting here. These guys ran forward. Ineffective shooting, ineffective shooting. I think the Lehman Russ dropped a template and ended up killing one shield drone over here. And not a awesome shooting round. We'll be back with Tau Space Wolf turn 3. There's the board. Okay, that was Tau Space Wolf turn 3. Let's see what happened.
The Hammerheads both tried to shoot the Land Raider, failed. I brought the Rhino over there down to 1 hull point from the suits firing. Melta shots from the Space Wolf pack over there failed, and I assaulted the Land Raider with the Dreadnought, putting 2 hull points on it, and it's stunned.
Okay, this was turn 4 for the Imp Guard Grey Knights. Some shooting into the Stormbolter drop pod did another hull point. The Dread fired. Where did the Dread fire? The Dread fired, I believe, into there. Heavy Bolter and Razorback fired into there. Land Raider was stunned, took some snapshots. The Terminators popped out, only to discover they have no way to affect the Space Wolf Dreadnought. These guys moved forward and dropped the Flamer template, ineffective, and the Leman Russ and the Rhino dropped some fire into those Space Wolves and were able to wipe out the last 3 guys of that squad. And once again, the Psyker, he didn't perils this time, but he failed to hit with his Crush attack. So far, not too impressed with that attack. And here's what the board looks like overall. Oh, also a good deal of fire went into this squad of Tau and killed 5, and they failed leadership and are running away. And here's what the board looks like after turn 4. Okay, here's the board after turn 4 for the Tau and Space Wolves. These guys regrouped and regathered around the objective. The Terminators they had no way of affecting the Space Wolf Dreadnought, and they basically got wiped out in assault. There's 1 Justicar left. These Crisis Suits wrecked the Rhino, and the Grey Knights popped out. And Stormbolter took a few pot shots and killed another Penal Legionnaire. And is that it? I think that's about it. Be back with turn 5. Alright, here is what the board looks like after Guard Grey Knight turn 5. Finally managed to destroy the drop pod from some side cannon shots here. This Dread was ineffective against the Hammerhead. The Land Raider was ineffective against the Hammerhead. These Grey Knights and this Razorback fired up into the Space Wolves up there. These Grey Knights fired up into there. I think we killed 3 Space Wolves up there. The Leman Russ dropped a template on this squad, went off a little bit and only got 1 guy. And the assault with the Space Wolf Dreadnought wiped out the Justicar, and he's now moving forward. And we will be back with Tau turn 5. So here's the board after turn 5. What happened Tau turn 5?
Dropped 1 guy from that squad with the Dreadnought's Flamer, and everything else just positioned around. Both the railguns failed to do anything again.
And the Dreadnought was
Failed his charge.
just out of range for the charge. We'll be back. The game goes on. Okay, here's the board after Guard Grey Knight turn 6. Let's see, probably the most significant thing, lucky side cannon shot from this unit went into the HQ Warlord Dreadnought and wrecked it. It became an objective. This squad of Grey Knights ran forward to try to hold that objective. The Penal Legionnaires took some shots at those guys. This Dreadnought and these Grey Knights and this Razorback and this Land Raider all dumped fire into the Space Wolves on top of this objective, killing 5 and they went to ground, and the Leman Russ fired into this crisis suit and did a hull point. And that's it for Grey Knight turn 6. We'll be back. What happened in turn 6?
Turn 6, Hammerhead put a blast on these guys, caused 3 armor saves, and he rolled terribly, so they all died. I took a heavy bolter off the Land Raider and did another hull point, and then knocked one of the Grey Knights down over there.
Alright, game continues. Turn 7. We'll be back. Okay, Grey Knight. Guard, turn 7. Let's see. Pretty much everybody dumped fire. The Dreadnought, the Razorback, the Land Raider, these guys. Pretty much everybody dumped fire into that last Space Wolf, and he was really resilient, but he eventually went down. Managed to do another wound to the crisis suit. I believe the Psy Cannon here did it. And a little bit of maneuvering around, getting near that objective, near that objective, near that objective. And, oh, also the Leman Russ did a template on him, killed 3 guys, and then the Sergeant ran away 3 inches, regrouped, and ran back 3 inches. And that is the end of Guard turn 7. Alright, good strategy by Dan. He basically was able to move and run and contest that objective against me. He moved, he jumped out of cover, almost took a wound, but managed to contest that objective there. And that's going to make him the winner. He holds 1 objective, 2 objectives, and I hold 1 objective. And what did I get? I got First Blood and kill the Warlord, and you got...
You didn't slay the Warlord. Oh, you did slay the Warlord.
I slayed the Warlord.
Maybe it's not a victory.
Let's add them up. I have 2. I have 2 points here, 3 for Slay the Warlord, 4 for First Blood. And what do you have?
And I have 2, 3, and Linebreaker.
Okay. Is it a tie?
I think so.
Get it just destroyed.
Right. I didn't slay your Warlord.
No.
I didn't get First Blood. I only got the Linebreaker. And I'm adding that 1 point to my 3, so that's 4. So yeah, it's a tie game.
Alright, awesome game. Tie game. A little bit tough to figure out the points there. We had the different value of each objective was a mysterious value, and it ended up being a tie game. And this is a pretty appropriate ending. I think Dan and I both played a nice, well strategized game. Probably, if Dan's hammerheads had been effective at all, he had some really bad rolls with the hammerheads, may have changed the game a little bit, but awesome game, lots of fun, and we'll be back with more battle reports from Greenfield Games, Warhammer 40K 6th edition battle reports. That's how it ended up, everybody. Thanks for watching. Leave comments, subscribe to the channel.